Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and I'm here to provide you with an update on a project that is long overdue. And that would be the second Q&A that I had initially set up. The cutoff date for submitting questions ended months and months ago, and yet you may notice you still haven't seen it. And I haven't really given an explanation as to why you haven't seen it yet. It's not because it's canceled. I still have every intention of doing it. I think still, though, that you deserve an explanation of why it's taken so long. Part of it, I will confess to you guys, is that I find it to be a little bit intimidating. Because, let me show you. You see this stack of papers right here? These are all of the questions that were submitted after we trimmed down the font to a more manageable size and consolidated all the questions that were asked in multiple comments by multiple people multiple times. It was still this much, like some 70 pages or so worth of questions. And don't feel bad about that. It's technically my fault. I never said how many questions you could or could not ask. I didn't put a limit on it. So if you ask a whole bunch of questions, I still intend to answer all of them. But as you can see, it's quite a bit. So, I mean, me being intimidated by it, that's my own thing. I actually did start filming it once back in the autumn of 2018. I started filming just my portions. The other two would have filmed their portions later. And as I was getting to a point where I realized too much time had passed, I only got through like 10 or 12 pages, I think. I stopped, I uploaded the footage I had to my computer, went over it and decided I can do better than that. So I scrapped all of it, declared it a wash, and said that I would start over at some point. And then a bunch of Monsterverse news wound up happening. And since I've become a source of news for many people regarding the Monsterverse, I had to focus on getting those things out in a timely manner. I mean, that and also the fact that this channel is kind of my job at this point. It's one of my primary sources of income, the other one being book sales. So I had to focus on all of that stuff because it just kept on coming. And then there were certain holidays that arrived that I had to get videos out with that were timed with those. And, well, after a while it just kind of got away from me. But I always intended to start over. I never lost track of the Q&A. So I actually intended, even though I never made an announcement on it, I intended for the month of January to be devoted to filming the Q&A. But you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men. I got a head cold going into the new year, and as I was recovering from it, I got a different strain of head cold. Like literally in that succession. I was sick, I was starting to recover, and then I got sick again. So that prevented me from doing much of anything, let alone making more videos. Hence why my upload speed slowed to a crawl during this month. So, disappointing. Definitely. But I am healthier now. So, with that in mind, I can't really have it ready by the end of January anymore because this video has gone up at the literal end of January. So that means February is my new month to devote to filming the Q&A. Barring some other unforeseen interruption, which I hope doesn't happen, I really do, that's going to be my focus. I'll still be working on other projects around it, but I promise you guys, February, I will be working on the Q&A. Now, I don't necessarily know how long that'll take. Like I said, there are a lot of questions I need to get through, and the resulting video is going to be long no matter what happens. And it's going to take even longer to film. Like, you can go through hours upon hours of footage sometimes for projects like this. So, I can't really give you a specific date as to when it will be done, but I can tell you February will be the actual month of production. So that's the best I can give you at this point. I will still do it. I will still answer all of those questions, even some of the questions that have wound up being kind of dated at this point because they were asking about events which at the time were in the future, but by this point are now in the past. But I'll still answer them. So thank you all for your patience, and I will do everything I can to ensure that the Q&A was worth the wait. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off.